Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. So the other day I had one of my students ask me like what one of my hobbies is or just what I enjoy. I think she was just trying to get to know me better, and honestly I had a hard time answering it, but after thinking a while, it's definitely not reading a book. Reading a book is it's something that I've never really enjoyed. It's really hard for me, and honestly, it's probably why I haven't totally encouraged Thomas to read books. Yikes. But, anyways, one of the things I do enjoy is making videos and just sharing our life and what's up and telling stories. And so today I'm going to tell another story, and hopefully it's something that you find enjoyable, and yeah, and if not, like, I'm still enjoying telling it and remembering it. So this kind of goes along with Camp Tippy a little bit, and the last time I mentioned how Dan and I met, and we met at Camp Tippy, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how like our dating relationship started, or just how we really started to get to know each other and spend more time with each other, just so you can know that. So in the last video I mentioned that we left camp on a Saturday, and then at this point, like, we had each other's phone numbers, we still had each other's addresses, and so we wrote each other just back and forth letters and things, and we're just really getting to know each other. And then I'm trying to remember all this correctly. The first thing if I'm remembering this right, the first thing that after writing letters was we would call each other once a week on Friday nights, but I was really dumb to have it be the same time all the time. Like, his siblings caught on, and his family had a rotary phone, you know, one of those phones where you go psh, psh, psh. And so and it was hooked to the wall, and so like they would race and try to beat him to the phone. And I've got other funny stories with that. At that time I did not have a cell phone, and so I just used my family's phone, but it wasn't hooked to a cord. And I think, if I remember right, the reason that it was Friday night, one, I didn't have school the next day, and two, we had free calling after 8 o'clock. So like, we lived an hour apart from each other, and so it was a long distance phone call, and but doing it this way saved money and kept parents happy and that kind of thing. So that is the way we would call back and forth. And the thing that I remember us, the first thing that I remember we went to, or that I went to, that was a big deal for our like relationship or whatever, was his Eagle Scout ceremony. Okay, so at this point he had turned 18. I was 14, turning 15, and like, you have to get your Eagle Scouts certification. You have to get your like, complete your Eagle Scout stuff before you turn 18. And like, that had been a complete journey for him, and sometimes stressful. What he did for his Eagle Scout project was he painted signs for his church and put them alongside the road to like lead to the church, saying the church is this way, you know, with the arrow and everything. you have to get permits and permissions, and it's just all a process. And so, anyways, this All About didn't happen. And so it was just a really, really big deal that he made it to this point, and that all, worked out. And he decided that this was a big enough deal to him and important enough to him that he wanted me to be a part of that day. Okay? I'm not driving it yet, at this point. My sister has been born at this point. She's an infant. She was born in June, and this Eagle Scout ceremony was September 24th. And so my mom's like, yeah, sure, we can go to this. And it was at a campground. And it's the only Eagle Scout ceremony I've ever been to. It was different just because my brother never did, well, he did scouting when he was really little, but he never completed any of that, and so I had just never seen it before. And I dressed up and thought, this is a really special occasion, this is what I need to do, and we were supposed to, so it was a good thing. But just thinking about how much detail and preparation and work and things he put into this, he did the programs and calligraphy. Took the pens, and I think he did one, and then they copied all of them, but it just took so much time, and his handwriting to this day is just amazing. And that's one of the things that really just made me fall in love with him, because our relationship started with letter writing, and and his penmanship was on par, and he just worked really, really hard on pouring his life out to me. And they were long letters. It wasn't like, this is what I'm doing by whatever. It was really in depth, and it was super sweet. And so, anyways, we get there to this Eagle Scout ceremony, and it's all set up, and then he, gets up there and does his little speech. I have not known him that long at this point, and he includes me in his speech and says, Brittany's been a big part of this, because as he was having, frustrations, difficulties, or challenges through getting his eagle, he's writing that in his letters to me. And so even though I wasn't, physically around as it was happening, he's writing these in his letters to me and pouring his heart out to me. And so it was really, really special. So we get to the Eagle Scout ceremony. It was great. He did his little speech. He looked really cute in his uniform. And then that was over, so he changed. And we're just hanging out because it's at a campsite and whatever. And like I mentioned before, my sister is an infant, so my mom is breastfeeding. And so she mentions, hey Brittany, I'm going to go to the car and feed your sister, and then we'll leave sometime after that. I said, okay. And Daniel asked me if I wanted to go on a walk. And I was like, yeah, sure, it's a campsite, there's trails, but yeah, that'd be fun. And so we're walking, and it seemed like we walked forever, but we really didn't. And he asks me to be his girlfriend, on this walk. And I just thought that was so special, and he didn't, I don't exactly remember what he said at this point, because this was, 15 years ago? A long time ago. And so, but he didn't rush it. He made it really special. You could tell that it was really thought out. And then, so he asked me, and then he took my hand. And so we just held hands. That was it. And we're walking back, and I'm, beaming ear to ear, and his brother comes up, and he's like, Brittany, your mom's in the car, you gotta go, and I was like, okay. And to this day, I was like, in the back of my mind, I still kind of tease his brother of, what were you thinking? Like, you could have ruined our moment. Like, what if he was gonna give me a kiss on the way back or whatever? He didn't. The first kiss did not come until later, but it was one of those things where it was just a special, quiet, still moment, and then his brother comes running in, and it's like, ah! And so, anyways, we started dating, if you could call it that, at that point. Like I said, we lived an hour apart from each other, so I did not go and see him very often. He would come and see me, so he would drive an hour, hang out for the day, usually on Saturday, and then he would drive an hour back. And so our goal was to have him leave at 8 o'clock so that he could be home by 9. And just, he put so much work and effort into our relationship. Like, if I didn't know from the beginning, it was obvious, like, that he truly loved me and cared about me, because I've seen people complain about long distance relationships when they've had it for like a year. Well, we did it for much longer than that, and there was a lot of special effort put into it. So anyways, that is how Dana and I's dating relationship started, and it was so special. And there's many more stories of that to come. Today's did not include anything to do with camp, but there will be other parts of our relationship that camp is totally the center of. So we'll talk to you later. Bye. God bless.